Hello there. My name is David, the Children's Assistant at Hamilton Townhouse Library, and I have a wee story for you. It's called The Runaway Pea. Look, here he is here. The story is written by Kjartan Poskett and is illustrated by Alec Wilmore. The book is published by Simon & Schuster. I hope that you enjoy the story. It's 6 o'clock and we're ready for tea. But look, what's that? It's a runaway pea. He pinged off the plate with incredible force and then slipped and went splat in a puddle of sauce. The carrots and beans were all laughing with glee. You didn't get far, you piddling pea. Just watch, said the pea. I've hardly begun. I might only be small, but I want to have fun. The pea shot away with a skip and a hop, and then into the dog bowl he fell with a plop. Climb, little pea, climb up the side, quick before Boris's mouth opens wide. The runaway pea jumped amazingly high, and so nearly landed in Boris's eye. He rolled along Boris's back in a flash, but a flick of the tail sent him flying off. Splash! Where am I? He wondered. His head really hurt.
Get out of my tank,
said Adele with a squirt. He fell on a mousetrap which snapped with a bang, and he bounced off a cobweb that stretched and went twang. He came to a rest on a high dusty shelf. So far, so good, smiled the pea to himself. Surely there's nothing else left to go wrong. Then a fan started up and it blew him along. And what's that below with an orangey glow? It's the slot in the top of the toaster. Oh no! In the pea fell, unable to stop. Then the toaster pinged up with an almighty pop. Ow! Cried the pea. My bottom's on fire! As he flew straight on into the tumbling dryer. Buffered and battered and bounced all about, the pea was so glad when he finally got out. He collapsed on a shirt that had newly been washed. Look out, little pea, or you're going to get squashed. He tumbled and rolled along out of control, under the fridge to a dark, sticky hole. Too weary to move, he just let out a groan. Then got a strange feeling he wasn't alone. Out of the gloom came mysterious shapes, a dried up banana and 2 mouldy grapes. Oh dear, said the pea, what happened to you? We were naughty, they said. We all ran away too. We don't recommend it, they whispered quite sadly. You'll get old and wrinkled and start to smell badly. I've changed my mind, said the runaway pea. I'll get back on that plate and be ready for tea. Oh, you won't, said the grapes, 'cause you've been on the floor. Runaway pea, you're not loved anymore. The little pea trembled. He knew it was true. There was nowhere to go for him, nothing to do. Helpless and hopeless and feeling forlorn, his tired eyes closed, and he gave a big yawn. But a magic thing happened while he was asleep. He woke up beside the recycling heap. The soil was soft and the weather was sunny, and soon the pea started to feel a bit funny. Under the ground he was sprouting some roots, and out of his top he was shooting out shoots. The shoots all had pods, and inside every one was a party of new peas all bursting with fun. So if you should ever hear pop, or splat, or a splosh in the sink, or a yow from the cat, or a rapperty-tap in the cupboard, then please, don't panic. It's only those runaway peas. Well, I love this story about the runaway pea. I think he has the right idea. I wouldn't want to be gobbled up either. I hope that you enjoyed the story. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Hello, my name's David and I'm the children's assistant at Hamilton Townhouse Library. And I have a wee story to read to you. It's called Mr. Wolf's Pancakes and it's written by Jan Fernley and published by Egmont. I hope you enjoy. One day, Mr. Wolf was feeling hungry. He fancied some pancakes. Yum, yum, he said, licking his lips at the thought of a big pile of fresh, delicious pancakes. Mr. Wolf had never made pancakes before, so he took his big recipe book down off the shelf and he looked inside. But wolves can't read very well, and Mr. Wolf had trouble making sense of it, so he went to get some help from his neighbours. He called on Chicken Licken, who lived nearby. "Please, can you help me read this?" he asked. "No," said Chicken Licken, slamming the door in Mr. Wolf's face. Bang! "Oh dear," sighed Mr. Wolf. He sat down, slowly read the book, and he worked out what he needed all by himself. Mr. Wolf looked in his cupboard for the ingredients, but he couldn't find anything that he needed. "I'll go to the shop," he decided, and he settled down to write a list. But wolves aren't very good at writing, so Mr. Wolf called on Wee Willie Winkie. "You're clever," said Mr. Wolf. "Can you help me please write my shopping list?" "No," said Wee Willie Winkie. "Go away." He slammed his door. Bang! "There's no need to be like that," said Mr. Wolf quietly. Mr. Wolf sat down and tried very hard with his writing until he had made his shopping list, all by himself. Now he needed to count his money to make sure that he had enough. But wolves aren't very good at counting, so he went to the gingerbread man for some help. "Can you help me count my money, please?" he asked politely.
No, I'm too busy to bother with you.
Said the gingerbread man, slamming his door. Bang! So poor Mr. Wolf had to sit down and count his money. It took him a long time and he had to check it 3 times before it was right. But he did it, all by himself. Mr. Wolf needed a basket to carry his shopping, so he called on Little Red Riding Hood. "Please may I borrow your basket?" he asked very nicely. "I'm not lending my basket to you," said Little Red Riding Hood. "Now, clear off." So Mr. Wolf set off to the shop without a basket. "I'll manage," he said. So Mr. Wolf went to the shop. He looked at his list, remembered what he needed, counted out his money, and carried the eggs, milk and flour home all by himself. Now it was time to make the pancakes, but wolves aren't very good at cooking, so Mr. Wolf called on the 3 little pigs. "Please can you help me cook my pancakes? I'll share them with you," he said kindly. "No chance," chorused the pigs, slamming their doors. Bang! 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 Wolf felt sad because nobody wanted to help him. Mr. Wolf went home and started to make the pancakes all by himself. Soon there was a huge pile of delicious pancakes on the table, all ready for eating. Now, as Mr. Wolf had been making his pancakes, a lovely smell had drifted out of the kitchen. All of his neighbours could smell it, and it made them feel very hungry. They wanted to try some pancakes too. They decided to try their luck. So they knocked on Mr. Wolf's door. "Give us Here's some of your pancakes, said the rotten lot. Why should I give any to you? Said Mr. Wolf. Not one of you would help me. We'll help you eat them then, replied Mr. Wolf's neighbours nastily. Anyway, we're not going away until you give us some. Mr. Wolf thought very hard for a moment. There was only one decent thing to do. Oh, very well then, he sighed. You'd better come in. Mr. Wolf opened the door wide and whoosh! His greedy neighbours rudely pushed him aside and dashed down the hall. Mr. Wolf shook his head and shrugged his shoulders. He followed them into the kitchen, and when they were all in, Mr. Wolf gobbled them up. Snippety, snappity! That was the end of his unhelpful neighbours. And then, with his bulging tummy not quite full, Mr. Wolf sat down to eat his pile of pancakes, and he did it all by himself. Well, there was nobody else around. Hello, it's David, the Children's Assistant at Hamilton Townhouse Library, and I've got another wee story for us today. We all know the classic We're Going on a Bear Hunt, and today we're going to read that book, but in Scots language. The story is written by Michael Rosen, illustrated by Helen Oxenbury, and translated by Susan Rennie. First published by Walker Books Limited, this edition is published by Floris Books. So here is We're Gangin' on a Bear Hunt. I hope you enjoy. We're gangin' on a bear hunt. We're going to catch a broyin. What a bonny day. We're no fear. Uh-oh. Grass. Lying wagging grass. We canna gang o'er it and we canna gang under it. Och no. We'll need to gang through it. Swish, swash, swish, swash, swish, swash. We're gangin' on a bear hunt. We're going to catch a broyin. What a bonny day. We're no fear. Uh-oh, a river. A deep, cold river. We canna gang o'er it, and we canna gang under it. Oh no, we'll need to gang through it. Plish, splash, plish, splash, splish, splash. We're gangin' on a bear hunt and we're going to catch a broyin. What a bonny day, we're no fear. Uh-oh, mud, thick, claggy mud. We canna gang o'er it, we canna gang under it. Oh no, we'll need to gang through it. Plutch, 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 plutch. We're gangin' on a bear hunt and we're going to catch a broyin. What a bonny day, we're no fear. Uh-oh, a forest, a mirk and muckle forest. We canna gang o'er it and we canna gang under it. Oh no, we'll need to gang through it. Stumble, stud, stumble, stud, stumble, stud. We're gangin' on that bear hunt. We're going to catch a broyin. What a bonny day, we're no fear. Uh-oh, a snowstorm. A birlin', skirlin' snowstorm. Oh, we canna gang o'er it, and we canna gang under it. Oh, no! I'll need to gang through it. Oh, skill screech, skill screech, skill screech. Oh, we're ganging on a bear hunt. We're going to catch a braai and what a bonny day. We'll no fear. Uh-oh, a cave. An eerie, oory cave. We canna gang over it, and we canna gang under it. Oh no, we'll need to gang through it. Shh, deputies, deputies. Jings, what's there? A sheeny wee nabe, and darun dowsing logs. Oh, twa great glowering een. It's a bear! Quick, back through the cave. Deputies, deputies. Back through the snowstorm. Skill screech, skill screech. Back through the forest. Stumble dodge, stumble dodge, stumble dodge. Back through the mud. Glitch, 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 glitch. No, back through the river. Plish, splash, plish, splash, plish, splash. And back through the grass. Swish, 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 swish. Round to our front door, in over the door, up the stair. Oh no, we done snake the door. Back down the stair. Snake the door. Back up the stair, into the bedroom. Into bed, coorie under the clays. Oh, we'll no gang awan a bear hunt again. Well, here we are, at the end of our story. Thanks for listening, and I hope you had a good time. Ta-ra for now. Hello everyone, and welcome to another story time with me, David, the Children's Assistant at Hamilton Townhouse Library. Today's story is called Mr. Underbed, and it's written and illustrated by Chris Riddell, and it's published by Anderson Press. In this story, a wee boy named Jim is having a really tough time getting a decent night's sleep. I hope that you enjoy the story. One night, just as Jim was dozing off, the bed springs creaked and the mattress shook. And a head poked out from under Jim's bed.
Hello,
It said.
I'm Mr. Underbed.
Hello,
Replied Jim.
I'm Jim.
It's very uncomfortable sleeping on the floor under your bed every night. Do you mind if I join you?
Asked Mr. Underbed politely.
Not at all.
Said Jim. Mr. Underbed fell asleep in no time, but his snoring kept Jim wide awake. Jim went to the chest of drawers to get his earmuffs. But when he opened the drawer, two heads popped up.
Hello,
They said.
we are the top drawer twins, Crinkle and Crumple. Hello?
Answered Jim.
You don't mind, do you?
Asked Crinkle.
Only it's very cramped in your drawer.
Explained Crumple as they jumped into Jim's bed. Crinkle and Crumple fell asleep almost immediately, but they had pinched all the bedclothes and Jim was too cold to go to sleep. So Jim went to the wardrobe to get his dressing gown. But when he opened the wardrobe door, yet another head popped out.
Hello,
It called.
I'm Wedgie, the wardrobe hound.
Oh no!
Said Jim.
I suppose you want to sleep in my bed too.
Said Jim.
Oh, that's very kind of you.
Replied Wedgie.
Oh, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this.
Jim muttered to himself. Jim went right around his room, opening his toy trunk, his cupboards, his drawers, looking behind his curtains, and even under his chair. And out of all these places, more heads came popping up. Tiny and Tubby Bear marched out of the cupboard. Saggy and Squeak were under the chair. Hooter the elephant and his friends Swish and Sniffer peeped around the curtains. And out came Bumble the middle drawer dog, Pinky the bedside table rabbit, Grimble, Grumble and Groan the toy trunk triplets, Wid the bottom drawer mite, and last but not least, Little Willie Glownose from the lampshade.
I give up.
Said Jim.
Everybody can sleep in my bed tonight.
And so they did.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Ooh.
They called and quickly fell asleep. Jim was quite tired after opening all those cupboards and drawers, and so he curled up on the floor and was soon fast asleep.
Wake up, Jim.
Called his mother in the morning.
Why are you sleeping on the floor? It just seemed more comfortable than my bed last night.
Said Jim with a smile. And that's the end of the story. I hope you all enjoyed it. Ta-ra for now. Hello, my name's David, and I'm the children's assistant at Hamilton Townhouse Library, and I have another wee story for you. This one's called Wake Up Do, Lydia Lou. It's written by Julia Donaldson, illustrated by Karen George, and is published by Macmillan Children's Books. In this story, a little ghost tries to give Lydia Lou a scare, but he can't even wake her up. Maybe his noisy animal friends can help. I hope you enjoy. One night, a ghost glided into Lydia Lou's bedroom when she was fast asleep. The ghost said, "Ooh! Wake up, do, Lydia Lou!
Wake up from your dream and scream."
But Lydia Lou didn't wake up. The ghost tried again. This time, he jumped out and said, "Moo! Ooh! Wake up, do, Lydia Lou!"
Wake up from your dream and scream.
But Lydia Lou went on sleeping.
I need some help.
Said the ghost. So he fetched a kitten.
Meow.
Boo! Woo! Wake up, do, Lydia Lou!
Wake up from your dream and scream.
But Lydia Lou just smiled in her sleep.
I need some more help.
Said the ghost. So he fetched a cow. Moo!
Meow.
Boo! Woo! Wake up, do, Lydia Lou!
Wake up from your dream and scream.
Lydia Lou turned onto her back and began to snore.
I need some more help.
Said the ghost. So he fetched an owl. Moo!
Meow.
Boo! Woo! Wake up, do, Lydia Lou!
Wake up from your dream and scream.
But Lydia Lou just hugged her teddy a bit tighter.
I need some more help.
Said the ghost. So he fetched a baby. Ooh-hoo! Do-do! Moo!
Meow.
Boo! Woo! Wake up, do, Lydia Lou!
Wake up from your dream and scream.
The teddy looked a tiny bit scared, but Lydia Lou just kept on sleeping.
I need some more help.
Said the ghost. So he fetched a cockerel. Cock-a-doodle-doo! Ooh! Woo-doo! Moo!
Meow.
Moo! Woo! Wake up, do, Lydia Lou!
Wake up from your dream and scream.
Lydia Lou slept on, but a feather floated out of her pillow. The feather tickled the ghost's nose and the kitten's nose. It tickled the cow's nose and the baby's nose too. And it tickled the beaks of the birds. Altogether, they let out an enormous sneeze. Achoo! And at last, Lydia Lou woke from her dream and she laughed. I hope you enjoyed the story, and there's a special thanks that goes out to Sandy and Roslyn for helping me to shout, "Wake up, do, Lydia Lou."